What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's been a minute. Trying to make this video yesterday after all the games, but had some stuff come up, so unfortunately wasn't able to. But we'll talk about the games yesterday, what it means for the title race, and we'll go from there. But first, let's start off with Aston Villa versus Man City. The game of the day, I would say. I had this game on while I was watching Liverpool, so I had the Liverpool on my TV, City game on my phone, looking up and back and forth between the two, and it looked like it was a close game at first. But then after the 11th, 12th minute, Emi Martinez had an unbelievable double save, and City were pedestrian for the rest of the day. They didn't have a single shot after that, so for almost 80 minutes without a single shot is unheard of from Manchester City. But that has to go down to full credit to Unai Emery. I've been saying that he's one of the best managers outside of Pep and Klopp. I don't care what anyone says about Arteta or De Zerbi or Tengag, Poch. They're not Unai Emery's level, and I think we saw that today, or yesterday, sorry. The way that they were just so calm on the ball, the composure and bravery that they played with, the flair was not something that you expected from an Aston Villa team against Man City. Obviously, Aston Villa are a very good team, especially at home. They're on a 14-game winning streak now, so there's no shame in losing to Aston Villa at Villa Park. But it's the way that you lose the game. I see John McGinn roll back the clock, and he's just bodying people off the ball. He gets the ball into his feet, and he's just holding everybody off until he either sees a pass or just spins someone inside out. He was just a tank today, or yesterday, sorry. He was unbelievable. Boubacar Kamara putting in the tackles, finding his composure, finding the next pass. Leon Bailey, one of the best games I've seen him play at Leverkusen or Aston Villa. And granted, his goal was a little bit lucky, but when you play that well, you deserve that kind of luck. Aston Villa could have easily scored 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. They were that good. They dominated City. They didn't let Kyle Walker get up the pitch because Luca Digne was pushed up so high, and he was so lethal going forward that it forced Kyle Walker to stay back. The midfield for Man City didn't have any legs. You have Akanji, you have Stones, and then you have Rico Lewis, and then you try to put Mateo Kovacic and Mateus Nunes in, and by that point, and Oscar Bob, God, that's a horrible name. How do you have 2 first names? But anyway, you make the subs too late. You had bad team selection to begin with, and you just got overran in the middle of the park. And especially without Rodri, you couldn't let that happen. I get it. You have John Stones, you like Akanji, and they usually perform well for you, but they're not midfielders. You already have a lack of pace in your defense. You can't have a lack of pace in your midfield as well. No Doku on the left, who I think is highly overrated, but City fans think he's really good, and so do a lot of other people. So you're losing that pacey outlet there. And that allowed Aston Villa to press up even higher. If you watch during the game, Aston Villa's back line was set wherever Erling Haaland was. So if he was at the midway line, then Aston Villa's defense was set at the midway line. So they compacted the field as tight as possible to allow Aston Villa to press high, force City into making mistakes. I've never seen City get pressed like that. They were chasing shadows. They didn't know what to do. They were yelling at each other. Usually when they play, they have triangles all over the pitch. They know if the left back plays it to them, there's going to be an outlet on the right or the left, whatever the situation holds. But they just didn't know what was going on. They get a pass, they'd have to look up and around, and then they find nothing, and next thing you know, Aston Villa players coming up, chasing after them, taking the ball away from them, cutting off a pass. It was unbelievable. Unai Emery deserves his credit because he's showing that he's a very underrated manager. Sure, it didn't work with him at Arsenal, but that happens at times. It happens. Every good manager can't make every situation work. It's just impossible. Sometimes you have bad stints, and I think that's tarnished his legacy. But I mean, his resume speaks for itself. Especially outclassing Pep. you don't accidentally outclass Pep. You have to be at that level to do something like that, because no one beats him like that. Prime Liverpool, that's the only other team that I've seen that has dominated uh, Man City and Pep Guardiola. Even at other clubs, Pep's never been dominated like that. So it's really concerning for a Man City team. Are they out of the title race? No. But is it definitely a concern? Absolutely. It's 4 straight games without a win. 3 points out of a possible 12 for Man City is never good, let alone for any title contending team. That's never good. But it's only December. It's not something that you should get too ahead of as a Liverpool fan. Does it make me feel a little bit more comfortable? Yeah, because I'm glad that we're not even at full strength yet, and we're 4 points ahead of Man City, who are looking most very vulnerable this season. Um, as a Liverpool fan, we should be going out and investing in the January transfer market, because this is the weakest Man City has ever been. This title won't require you to win 90 plus points. This title race, it may only be 82, 84, 85 points, and that's enough to be Premier League champions. So again, props to Unai Emery and Aston Villa. They deserve to win. They're showing why they're a real contender for top 4. I don't think they're in the title race, but definitely top 4. They will be playing Champions League football as long as this can continue. Man City, nothing to worry about yet. It's only December, but if you get into February, March, and you're still like this, then they're probably going to be out the title race. Let's go to the Sheffield United Liverpool game. Very poor from us. The whole front line was terrible. Hakpo, I don't think, had a shot all game. I think he had a .02 GA or something like that, or expected goals, sorry. It was really poor from him. Salah probably had one of his worst games. Diaz didn't do anything. It was just a really poor day from the front 3. I know Nunez had an assist, and people are going to go crazy about that, but he wasn't good either. I mean, let's be honest. He, outside of that tackle and that pass that he made, there were so many other times where he had a pass to his left and to his right, and he would just hold on to the ball, hold on, and then he'd make the pass, and by that point, the guy's either offside or or the Sheffield United player's back in position and makes the interception. So it was really poor from Liverpool altogether. I think Endo played really well. Do I think that he's good enough to be starting for us? I don't know yet. At first, I was a firm believer that he wasn't good enough, but he's performed in the last 2 games for against Fulham, so he deserved to start against Sheffield United. He played really well. I think he was probably our best midfielder. So does he deserve to start again? Probably. Overall, decent result for us. Good result. Bad performance. But sometimes you just need the 3 points, and that's all that matters, especially when promotion level teams, newly promoted teams, have been a bogey for us. 2 wins in our last 11 or 12 games over the course of 3 seasons against newly promoted sides. So, I mean, that's something good to take away. Next, Man U, Chelsea. Man, Chelsea are in a crisis. Now, that's a team that you have to worry about. They were outclassed again, and it wasn't by a good Manchester United team. There is shame in losing to Manchester United in the way that they did. Both struggling teams, both really needed the win. Ten Gag was able to get that win and secure 3 points, a much needed 3 points. Now they're only 3 points behind Man City, but don't let that fool you. They're not in a title race. They're not in a top 4 push. They're a team that's dysfunctional, a team that is in the mud, and by the time January, February, March comes, I won't be surprised if Ten Gag is sacked. I won't be surprised if they have exodus of their players. They just sell a bunch of guys during the January transfer window, get them out of there, and just kind of reboot and chalk this season off as another Manchester United season of late. Just another L. Maybe they get Europa League football, finish 6th. Maybe they get Conference League, but who cares about that? But I have to give credit where credit's due. Ten Gag had a great plan. He outclassed Potts today. His players were more motivated than Chelsea players were Chelsea players were kind of just walking around the pitch. They looked like they gave up midway through the game. They knew it was over. Honestly, 2-1 was flattering to Chelsea. It should have been 4-5-1. Excuse me. Robert Sanchez was terrible. His passing, oh my God. Made a couple decent saves, cool, but when you're giving the ball away and you're the reason why you're having to make those saves, it kind of just nullifies it. It's kind of pointless. Nottingham Forest 5-0. I only want to talk about this because I think that this is Steve Cooper's last game for Nottingham Forest. Really disappointing because I only would have thought that he would have been fired if they would have been in serious jeopardy of being relegated. And they're 6 points clear of Everton, who are bottom of the table. They're not worse than Luton. They're not worse than Burnley. They're not worse than Sheffield United. I don't see a way how Nottingham Forest get relegated and to sack your best manager that you've had in years because of a 4 or 5 straight loss record, 4 or 5 straight losses in a row. I get it, it's bad on the saying that out loud, but you look at last season, he had a poor run in the middle of the season last year, I think around this time, and they rewarded him with a new contract. I don't know what the board's expectations are, but for me personally, anything from Nottingham Forest that is staying up in the Premier League is a good season. So I think that they should only sack him if they were in serious jeopardy of being relegated. I'm not sure if you guys have been on Twitter, or sorry, X, but the fans still adore him. The players still adore him. They know that he's the best manager that they've had in recent years. And I don't know who's out there. They're trying to get Marco Silva. I don't see why Marco Silva leaves Fulham for Nottingham Forest. I get that on history they're a better team, but if you're looking at the two squads, Fulham has a better squad than Nottingham Forest. Unless they go out there and promise him more money in the January transfer window to improve the squad, I don't see why he would leave Fulham. Who else was it? Lopetegui, I think was a name being rumored to be replacing Steve Cooper. Now I can see that one being a good move for both parties. Lopetegui is a good manager, someone who is not elite, but he's not world class, not elite, but he's good. He's solid. He'll get Nottingham Forest playing good football again. Get him mid-table, maybe at best mid-table, but his problem was at Wolves that they weren't going to invest money, and Nottingham Forest have shown that they are a team that aren't afraid to invest money when needed. So I think that Lopetegui in Nottingham Forest is a good move. Kind of wrap this video up, getting a little bit long, but again, let's talk about the title race a little bit. Arsenal top by 2 points, 36. Liverpool 34. Aston Villa 32. Man City 30. 6 point gap from City to Arsenal. Again, it's only December. If this was April, March, April, and City were playing this bad and the gap was widening and widening, then I would say, okay, Arsenal, Liverpool are running away with the league, and it's a 2-team league race right now. But it's only December. If it's 12, 14, 15 points at this by next month, by January, February, then I could say, all right, it's a 2-team race. But to be 6 points back and you're Manchester City, you've won the league 3 straight times. There's nothing to really worry about. It's just nice headlines at this point. But yeah, anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you haven't, like, comment, share, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.